But he said, Ibn al-Qayyim said, when it comes to backbiting, أما في الغيبة فلا يمكن ذلك. This is not possible. He said, ولا يحصل له بإعلامه إلا عكس مقصود الشارع. He said, as nothing would result from informing him, meaning the one who has been backbitten, except that which is contrary to that which has been intended by the legislator. He said, for surely the one who has been backbitten will harbor this in his chest. Meaning, if you go to a brother who doesn't know that you've spoken ill about him, you say, Akhi, I backbit you in front of Abdullah, Abdurrahman, or Sadiq. Obviously, immediately he's going to harbor something in his chest. That's why Ibn al-Qayyim said. And Ibn al-Qayyim continues. He said, this person will be harmed. He will be harmed, and he will hold this in his chest. He will be harmed by that which he has been accused, and perhaps وَيُؤْذِيهِ إِذَا سَمِعَ مَا رُمِيَ بِهِ وَلَعَلُّهُ يُهَيِّجْ عَدَاوَتُهُ وَلَا يَصْفُو لَهُ أَبَدًا. He said, and maybe this would incite enmity between the two of them, which would never be resolved. And Ibn al-Qayyim continued, he said, anything which can lead to this, meaning enmity, and for example, and disagreement, and bickering amongst the believers, he said, وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا سَبِيلُهُ فَإِنَّ الشَّارِعَ الْحَكِيمِ لَا يُبِيحُهُ وَلَا يُجَوِّزُهُ فَضْلًا عَنْ أَنْ يُوجِبُهُ وَيَأْمُرْ بِهِ. He said, anything that can lead to this, meaning enmity and evil feelings, then there is no doubt that the all-wise legislator will not allow and make it permissible, let alone make it an obligation and command it. Meaning there's no way that this can be something which is obligatory. Why? Because it resolves in a greater evil, a greater harm. So that's why Ibn al-Qayyim said, he mentioned, وَمَدَارَ الشَّرِيعَةِ عَلَى تَعْتِيلِ الْمَفَاسِدِ وَتَقْلِيلِهَا لَا عَلى تَحْصِيلِهَا وَتَكْمِيلِهَا وَاللَّهُ تَعَالَى أَعْلَمُ انتهى كلامه رحمه الله وما عليه مزيد فقد أجاد وأفاد. Ibn al-Qayyim said, the Sharia revolves around stopping harm and stopping harmful things and limiting them, not causing and adding to them, and Allah knows best. Meaning, if we were to say that from the Sharia, it's upon you to go and tell your brother, the one you backbitten, that you backbit him and seek his forgiveness, then this would result in great evil. And the Sharia, this Sharia of this religion, it is based around and revolves around stopping harmful things and limiting them, not causing them. So therefore, the correct opinion, as mentioned by Abu Abdullah, she said there's nothing more to be added to the words of Ibn al-Qayyim in this issue, for verily he has spoken efficiently and he's spoken excellently about this issue. So it's clear. The issue, inshallah ta'ala, is wadih, that inshallah if you're backbiting your brother or sister, seek forgiveness for them in Allahi ta'ala, and do not inform them about that which has occurred if they are unaware of it. And Abdullah, she said, وَأَخْتُمْ مَوْضُوعَ الْغِيبَةِ بِقَوْلِ الْقَحْطَانِ فِي نُونِيَّتِهِ. I finished this subject of al-ghiba, backbiting, with the words of al-Qahtani in his poetry, which he entitled An-Nuniyah. And the poetry is لا تشغلن بعيب غيرك غافلا عن عيب نفسك إنه عيبان. Al-Qahtani said, do not be occupied by the faults of others whilst forgetting your own faults. Verily this is two shortcomings. What are the two shortcomings? You've been occupied by other people's faults and you're negligent of your own. So these are two dispraiseworthy characteristics. These are two, wa alaykum assalam, dispraiseworthy characteristics. So inshallah ta'ala, as a summary from this dars, it becomes clear, and inshallah we'll ask some questions from the brothers just to make sure that the issue is understood. Firstly, what is the definition of backbiting? Now, mentioning your brother in that which he dislikes, as the Prophet ﷺ said. What's the definition of slander? Definition of slander, ya akhan. Now, to say something false about your brother. Because if it's true and he dislikes it, it's slander. If it's false, it's buhtan. Naam. Backbiting. Salim. Haram or halal? It's haram, huh? What's the dalil? Ahsan, Jayyid. Backbiting from the major sins or the minor sins? What's your dalil? Ahsan, Jayyid. Jazakallah khair. ها؟ حجرات تقصد. Naam, but here you would apply it, for example, to namima. That would be awdah bin namima. But قد يكون نعم as a proof. But a specific proof that this is from the major sins is the hadith that we mentioned. It's the hadith that we mentioned. But naam, bila shak. It can be applied to it as well now. The tariqat al-tawbah from ghiba. The way to make tawbah from backbiting. Brother on the amud. Sahib al-nadar. La. Naam. Naam, ahsan. Seek Allah's forgiveness for that individual and mention him in good points, in good ways, where you're backbitten him. Naam. Ahsanta. You don't have to tell the individual? Nadir. Why? How could it cause more harms? In which way? Naam, ahsan. We mentioned the statement of Imam An-Nawawi and others before him in the piece of poetry when backbiting, the 6 types, when you speak or criticize an individual and it's permissible. What are the 6 types? 1, 2. عندك. Now. عندك. The 6 types that we mentioned, the 6 cases in the lines of poetry, which were mentioned as exclusions from backbiting. Poetry. See, that's the importance, ya ikhwa, of kitaba, writing. That's the importance of writing. Rather, for example, than sitting and listening and then you leave the class and then you narrate something which is totally opposite. So inshallah the brothers should, with the qalam inshallah ta'ala and the daftar. The 6. Voicing a grievance, 1. Now describing. Warning against the person, 3. Now. Speaking about the one who openly sins, ahsan, 4. Seeking a fatwa, 5. Seeking aid in removing an evil, ahsan. So therefore, for example, if one of the ulama warns against one of the mubtadi'ah, the innovators, or warns against one of the callers of hizbiyah, is this backbiting, akhi? Why? Why is it not backbiting? But what's your dalil to say that it's not backbiting? We said the definition of backbiting is dhikruka akhaka bima yakrah, mentioning your brother with that which he dislikes. So now, speaking about this individual, he's your brother now? Muslim? He's a Muslim? Yeah, he's a Muslim. Now, he's a Muslim. Okay, he's got innovation. We said the definition of backbiting is mentioning your brother with that which he dislikes. As the Prophet ﷺ said.